My question is to the Premier. Recently, the City of Toronto has created a subcommittee out of frustration and the need for more insight and input into the massive Ontario Line project. This means that they're going to have to dedicate city staff and other resource time to make sure that they can actually staff those committee hearings. They've slammed Metrolinx and the provincial government charged with building the subway line for being too secretive. Speaker, when will the government finally give public answers about when they expect the Ontario Line to be completed and how much will it cost?
To respond, the Minister of Transportation.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, after decades of gridlock in the city, our government put forward a transit plan for the City of Toronto and York Region, and our government brought that plan forward to the City of Toronto. And in November of 2019, when the member opposite was a member of City Council, they know that we put that forward and City Council had a chance to review it and, in fact, even to vote on it, Mr. Speaker. After we got the City of Toronto's support for it, we brought that plan forward to the federal government. And after we reached a historic agreement with York Region, with the City of Toronto and the federal government on our subway plan for the Greater Toronto Area, we've been consulting non-stop with the City of Toronto, with York Region, and we've been looping in our federal colleagues, Mr. Speaker, because we know how important it is to have all parties and all levels of government aligned. Over 100 consultations have been held with the cities since we reached that agreement, Speaker, and we will continue to operate in a transparent and open way with the City of Toronto. Thank you.
And the supplementary question.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I don't believe that the Minister understood the question. The City of Toronto has created a subcommittee specifically to address the secretness and the way this Ontario Line is being administered. They have specifically identified the fact that they're not getting good and accurate information from the government. They're inviting members of the public to speak to them so that they can hear about their frustrations. They are inviting city staff to provide additional reports based on the conversations they're having with Metrolinx. This is going to take time and effort and money from the City of Toronto when all they need is a direct answer from the government. So my question, Speaker, is the Ontario Line has already doubled in cost. It is going to be the most expensive and overpriced transit line in the history of Ontario. Local businesses and taxpayers want to know. They demand an answer. Are they going to get a good deal from this government, especially since the notification around tree removal and other type of construction deadlines are being blocked by someone in the ministry? My question, Speaker, is will this government actually provide the information that the City of Toronto and the residents deserve? Will they give it to them in a timely fashion? And when will my community get an apology for the fact that they were blocked from notification for the removal of the trees in Osgoode Hall as well as Moss Park?
Minister of Transportation.
I'll clap for you just because you took 2 minutes to ask.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, I wonder if the member opposite raised the issue of this secrecy with Metrolinx and how Metrolinx is conducting itself when the member opposite participated themselves in over 30 engagements with Metrolinx over the last 2 years, at least 8 of which were specific to Moss Park. Speaker, on February 9th, in a radio interview on News Talk 1010, the member from Toronto Centre said, and I quote, "We have been aware that there were going to be some removal of trees. Our community has been in consultation and communication with Metrolinx," unquote. Mr. Speaker, the member opposite wants to put forward a narrative against the building of the Ontario Line because they voted against it when it was brought to City Council. But our government will not be deterred. We are going to address the transit deficit that was left by the previous Liberal government, and we're going to build